Thank you so much, members of Western Media. I'd like to thank Almighty God for giving us this opportunity to share information pertaining Nile Trade Link Limited to clear the air about the recent incidents that have been happening. By names, I am called Amin Wise. I am the General Manager of Nile Trade Link Limited, professionally experienced with the knowledge of logistics management of about 12 years. We are here to give you the most clearest information we need as our services to the community and the public is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the manager, general manager, Amin. For those of you who didn't hear, Amin. Yes.
I am called Mabutu Joseph Etole. The caretaker for the company of Nile Trade Link. I also do consultancy work in transport and logistics. We are glad to be with you to share a few things regarding our recent operations and also to hear from you issues that have not come out clear to the public, and we are ready to give you the answers. Thank you.
That is the company president himself, and hence the caretaker is on top of the chart at the company, and I want to thank he's the number one accounting officer. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Okonya Abraham. We welcome you to this very special moment, as stated by the moderator and as stated on the banner. I've been in Nile Star and I'm in charge of finance. Thank you for this time.
Nile Trade Link became a registered company in 2016, around October. It was founded by now the late Toha Agarile, somebody from this region, and we lost him towards the end of 2023. When he formed this company, he became the majority shareholder, and he had two other shareholders, the son called Masudi Fortune and the daughter called Is Medina. So they became three as shareholders of Nile Trade Link Limited, with Toha Agarile having majority shareholding. Along the way, first of all, this is a man I knew early 1990s, and around 2017 up to mid-2018, that's when again he approached me that he was waiting for his money. The moment it is out, he would want to go into the bus business. I wished him well. I said, once the money is ready, you get in touch with me and we see how we can handle the project. As I told you, I'm a logistics and transport consultant, so I promised to guide him where necessary. And indeed, in 2019, he came and told me he was ready for the business. Though I discouraged him because of the challenges involved in this business, You may be aware there are a number of companies across Uganda, maybe even if you go across the borders. But businesses are a very big challenge. Very, very, very big challenge. It is not what some of you think. It is not an easy business, full of challenges. So I discouraged him, but he insisted, and I guided him as he wanted. We traveled, bought these buses, put them on the road. So he handled the business until 2022, when he fell sick. When he fell sick, he got admitted to Mulago Hospital and was operated. And the moment now he was down, he prepared the 2 powers of attorney to the 2 shareholders. That is Masudi Fortune, the son, and Peace Medina, the daughter. And in that power of attorney, he handed over the business to the 2 and calling for a meeting which was held in Kampala, where he introduced the 2 to the staff. That staff that covered all the branch managers and the accounts people from the various branches. So he introduced the 2 as per the power of attorney and read it, and the power of attorney was read in front of everybody. That from that time onwards, until maybe when he feels better, the business will be run by the 2 children. He appointed me as an overseer, stock caretaker, to the 2 children and the business at large. Things moved on very well. Business went on until early 2023, when he decided to go abroad for further management of his health. He called a meeting at his home in Kawempe, Kampala, called all the branch managers, his brothers and other relatives. He again, this time, directed, and first of all, actually, he introduced the 2 children. In his own words, he said, "I'm leaving you with the 2 managing directors, Masudi Fortune and Peace Medina." He said he will be traveling to Turkey for further management of his health, and these 2 will be the owners of the business. He introduced me as the caretaker. He introduced his lawyer called Innocent Okong. He introduced Abraham as the head of finance. He introduced his cousin brother Hakim as the deputy to Abraham in finance. What I would like to share with you and the public, he made a very strong statement. As much as these 2 children are young, you must respect them. Those were his own words. As much as they are young, you, the managers, other workers, relatives, you must respect them. And thereafter, he prepared and he traveled. The business continued. Towards the end of 2023, he lost the battle of the sickness, and his body was brought back to Uganda and buried. Thereafter, All the necessary arrangements were done for these children to get their proper documentation in terms of letters of administration. And they took full charge of the business. A week to his departure from the world, he introduced to 3 of us, the 2 children, myself, another friend of his from the Western region called Robert Akanga. He said we should meet together. He wanted to speak to us. We assembled, we called him. We did not know, because we did not know his status by then, and we did not know that actually he was now saying farewell to us. He urged us to be 4 of us, and he urged 2 of us to ensure these 2 children handle this business without any disturbance from anybody. We assured him, until you come back here, you will find everything in order. After a week, that is when he was pronounced dead. Now, after his burial, business went on, of course, as the children in charge, as earlier on I stated. All the necessary documents were processed. They got their letters of administration, and they have been in charge. Though there have been, as some of you will know, a person who has wealth, whenever something wrong happens to him, like death, there will be those confusions. And I think he knew it. He knew it. But I think he was also set and determined, and he made a very, very, very bold statement. When he handed over the power of attorney to his children, he made a statement. Giving those powers of attorney to the children was a very big statement. If anybody cared to know that time, we know that the man was communicating. The message he repeated 3 times, that as much as they are young, you must respect them. He was communicating. If you bothered to hear and understand, you will know the man was communicating. Picking a man called Mobutu Etole Joseph, not his relative, you come and be here as a caretaker. Picking a Westerner, a Munyakole, you come and be as a caretaker next to Mobutu. Picking an Acholi from northern region, from Gulu, you come and be the head of finance in this company. The man was communicating. If people bothered to know, the guy was communicating. He picked a lawyer from Eastern, Innocent Okong. The guy was communicating. He was communicating. None of us, including myself, did not know what was on his mind. He has relatives, he has brothers, he has a mother, he has his sisters, he has his uncles. Why did he take a decision? Give this big business the way you see it to 2 young children who were we are also up to now students. Why? He knew it better than all of us here. I cannot claim to know what was on his mind. You cannot claim to know. He knew his children, his relatives, his friends, including me, him, his brother, and me. He knew them better than all of us. He made his communication very clear, and he traveled. We communicated until the university. The business has continued, but of course with the challenges. Some of you, when I look at your ages, early 1990s, when Nile court started, I think you might have been crawling as babies. That company grew to over 30 or 40 buses. But they had their challenges. Gaga came and grew to over, I think even 100 buses. He had his challenges. KKT came, had over 40 buses. They also went through challenges. Came Nile. If you look at the insurance report, you will realize that actually accidents started immediately after starting the business of Nile, when the proprietor was there. Though the recent one was actually the biggest. You could hear accidents in this route of West Nile, bus knocking elephant, people dying, bus colliding with the fuel tanker in the park, people dying over 30, 40. So many nasty accidents happening in this region. So the late left this business to the children. I have been there with them, including the other caretakers, including the lawyer. I actually always call all these people to say, much as I had a team of caretakers, but you are all caretakers around this children. So the recent events of accidents and whatever, those are some of the challenges in this business. And what I want to tell you, like he said, there's some negative things being said out there, this and that. Even those other companies had negative things to say about them. I remember people were saying, I think some of these people got money under the water. Have you ever heard about magic? These things are now asking for blood, that is why they were getting these accidents. One of them had 4 accidents in one day, 4. Njeba, Nyaravu, Bongo, there was one coming from Burundi, just caught fire and burnt. Say, now this one here, I think the people now, these things need more blood. Most of them have been labeled. These are people who went for Maji, now this is it. But the recent one of Nile, people also having their own thoughts, different versions coming up. Family issues, I don't know what. The ownership of this business was clearly sorted by the owner before he died. He sorted it out. 3 shareholders, Toa Garle, Masuti Fortune, Peace Medina. He appointed 2 to head the business. So ownership is not an issue we to talk about. If there's anybody who doubts the ownership, you are a civil. You are a civil. Where registration is done. It is legally sorted out, you'll find it there. So The issue of superstition, spirituality, and whatever is in the heads of people. What we know is the truth is that one, this business is full of challenges. Two, around 90% of these accidents are as a result of human error. It is human error. Drivers are contributing, the management staff is contributing. You, the passengers, the driver is going slowly. You want to reach faster. What kind of driver have they given us today? The man is not moving. These complaints are there. So when the management decided to pause, it was not a directive from government, no. The management decided to pause operations. There was panic. You could clearly see that there was panic. Even some drivers now were not becoming steady. You have lost a colleague in that kind of accident. You lost around 14 passengers. By the way, there were 2 buses involved, as you heard. But Nile recorded it actually 16 deaths, 14 passengers, and then 2 staff, the driver and the turnman. The rest with injuries, around 38 injuries, 10 serious, who are being taken care of in terms of treatment by the business. And when I say by the business, I mean insurance has taken over because these buses are all comprehensively insured. So any risk of that nature, accident of that nature, is taken over by the insurance company. So they are collaborating well with the management of Nile, and the people are getting treatment. The date we accorded the decent values with support, full support from the management of Nile, and representatives were sent to represent the management team. And indeed, it was a very unfortunate incident. Very, very unfortunate incident. Not the first time, but it was a very unfortunate incident because we have lost many lives in this road. That 14 plus the 2 staff, 16 is a big number. Though the bigger number was from the other, because they were around 46 deaths reported in the accident of the 2 buses. But Nile registered in 16. The rest were from the other bus. This is not yet out, but preliminary report clearly indicates that the oncoming vehicle from Adjumani knocked the tipper from behind, lost control, went into the direction of oncoming Nile bus, and in seconds, that was according to the officer who was handling the whole thing. In seconds, everything was gone. Because the guy came knowing he was on his lane, so there's nothing in front. Leave alone those reports that came earlier on that both of them were overtaken. No, there was no overtaking. The guy knocked himself behind, and then the other one was coming, knowing 100% down. And you know, at night visibility is poor. So you can't see very far. You see where the lights stop. So that was actually one of the reasons why we said no. Now there's panic in the public, there's panic with the drivers, because you could hear the other bus also wanted to go off-road. That was panic. And then a bus coming from Yumbe carrying teachers to go to and lost the midway, decided to turn. Somebody captured immediately that even this one also was going off the road, causing accident. What is happening to Nile? So were now panicking. And then the management said, no, pause operations. Ministry of Officials, Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, the IOV department, they had a meeting with them, come and talk to the staff, largely targeting the drivers, how to behave on the road. So that is why operations were halted for 2 days. The third day was for preparation to start. Actual operations were for 2 days. The first day was for the Ministry, Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, and then the IOV to talk to the drivers and the staff. So once that is done, a lot came up in that meeting. A lot was learned from that workshop. A lot. Even some of the drivers will clearly say that I think we the drivers will have a problem. Because issues like full lights, the vehicles coming with full lights all over, you are giving him a dim, and the man is not responding, he's coming with full lights. Some drivers say, now in such a situation, why do you risk moving? You park for 1 or 2 minutes. Let this madman who doesn't want to give you dim, let him go. It will take only 1 or 2 minutes, then you start your journey. You could clearly see that, yes, there are issues with some of the people. Somebody is overtaking in a corner. Why don't you first finish this, look straight and clearly, then you start your overtaking. So these issues came, the ministry officials, the road safety officials, that is what they were taking these people through. And they learned a lot from that. I'm yet to hear from anybody who claims that he was the cause of that Kriadonga accident. If that person comes out, then that person is a terrorist. He will tell us how. Was he a cause of that accident? That is terrorism. Because terrorists usually they bomb and then they claim it. We are the ones who hit it. So if there is anybody in the public, whether you are a relative, whether you are a friend, and you claim that you were the cause of the death of 46 people, you were the cause of over 50 injuries in the 2 buses and the 2 vehicles, other vehicles. We are waiting for that person to boldly come like Al-Shabaab and claim that I did it, and for this reason, and this is how I did it. We are still waiting for that. Anything short of that, this is bus business. Gentlemen, if you do not know bus business, this is typical bus business. Some people call it in Kiswahili matope. Those who know Kiswahili will tell you, ask them, what is matope? When I was with the Taban, Abdurrahman Hajj of Gateway Makers, Taban, what are you looking for here at the ministry? Taban said, I want to try this, I want to go into the bus business. Then he said, unataka ingia kwa hii kazi yetu ya matope? You want to enter in this business of mud, where we soil ourselves? Taban said he did not understand what he meant, but when his bus and the fuel tanker had a head-on collision, that is when he understood what did the Haji mean when he said this is it, a business full of mud. People have died, people have lost their limbs, people are dead. If you ask the form operators, they will tell you. So these are challenges, they need to be confronted head-on. One of the things, the best things to do was what Nile did. Don't fear to lose money, even if people take advantage, begin charging other people, overcharging other people 60 instead of the 50. Let people do that. You pause, get your staff down, talk to them, get experts to talk to them, and use. It is not elimination, by the way. You cannot eliminate accidents in these buses, even under vehicles, but you can minimize or mitigate them. So that was one of the things NISTA did. And I really think they must be commended for that. Though pulling out the buses caused a lot of stampede, the number of the operators here could not handle the number of problems, but it was a necessary thing to do. Very necessary thing to do. Because of panic and other things, people were even going to cause more problems. So that is it briefly. If there's anything which maybe has not come out clearly.
Once again, I'm a midwife, the general manager. I would like to say the incident that Nile experienced in the recent accidents was something I did not expect. When this incident of accident of Chiradogo happened, first of all, we got scared as management. The preliminary information we got where 63 people died in Nile. I jumped from Kampala at 3 a.m. I reached the scene at around 6. When we reached at the scene, honestly, we found that the accident was very nasty. But when we analyzed the number of people who died were not 63 as announced in the social media. There were 46 people who died. In the West Nile, we sadly buried 9 people. We sadly buried 9 people. We buried 2 in the Yume district, that is in Lodoma Basilica. We buried 2 in Koboko district. One happened to be Kokole, Tabole. May his soul rest in peace. We buried a crab here, 1 person. We buried one of our sisters in Luguri. We buried 1 person in Kuruva, Iridri. And we buried our beloved driver, Willie Biarogaba, in Logiri. Majesty is called Mr. Biarogaba, is a Logara from Logiri. And then the 9th person was our beloved Tama. We buried him in Lucia. So in Western here we buried 9 people. I physically, with the team of management, participated in these burials. We were a bit stressed with a lot of issues, but honestly, the management was supported by the board to support these burials one by one. The team of managers were deployed to attend these burials one by one, not until the families were able to feel truly this was an accident. It was not an incident which was caused by an individual. So, when it came to the second accident, that one happened at around 5 p.m. Then we also got media was announcing an accident in Ube. Here I want to say something. Media, there was no accident in Ube. Around Lodoma, as the press was clearing the air. The incident that happened in Lodoma was when the Ube bus of 7 p.m. reached Kampala at around 6 a.m. For team of teachers and leaders who were directed by Directorate of Industrial Training to go and assess examinations in Sister Mariam Institute in Lodoma Basilica. The bus went with these teachers from here. One of my sisters called Monica was among them. The bus reached Lodoma Basilica. It belongs to the Basilica. You get the point? The teachers to say, no, this is not where the institute is. The institute is opposite Basilica. Now, the process for the bus to turn back, the promoter men had already gathered around, taking pictures, communicating Nile Star, as plans into a bus. Immediately, we got an information that there's an accident. When we investigated through the crew members, that's the driver, conductor, and the fireman, they told us, please, manager, there is no accident in Lodoma here. That's how the incident was. So, we failed to clear the air earlier simply because we were caught up with a lot of activities to cover up, pertaining some of these issues that were happening. It is also very important to communicate that there were some people whose names were labeled in the local terms, especially one of our brothers who was buried somewhere here in Arua. We at first thought this man died in Nile bus. He's a doctor, the one who was studying in the university, but we came to realize of recent that the father stated to us clearly that his son did not die in Nile bus because his son requested for 50,000 from him at 4 to board the bus from Chiledogo Hospital to go to Kampala for workshop, medical seminar. So the man he met his death in that accident. At first we took a concern to take the responsibility of the burial arrangements, but the father was a very faithful man. He said, fine, since we have given him the condolence, he wants to tell us the truth. The truth is this. It was very difficult for the management to retrieve that money back. See, we gave everything to God. So the truth had been that daughter did not die in Nile accident. This is how I must clear the air here, because a lot of propaganda and grapevine information have been moving around. So when this incident happened, the management and the board maximally collaborated with the government. Just like he said, the director of Transport Organization Board, the director of Traffic Police Department, we have logistic partners, plus IOB, Mr. Ali T. These people maximally helped us. They advised Nile first of all to train these drivers. When the drivers when they mentioned to us that we said the idea, we said no. Instead of creating these drivers in bits, the service continues, we found first of all stop the services. Which means cancelling the services was the making of the management, as the president said. And honestly, when the two-day training was conducted, we felt that our hopes were uplifted. The drivers were comforted. They were able to regain their senses that truly the advice given by the partners had helped them a lot. And therefore, on Saturday morning, in fact from Saturday evening to Saturday morning, we also invited a team of mechanics, engineers from East Africa to help us and inspect the buses. These buses were thoroughly inspected. There were two that were having a mistakes. We backed them. We said let them be rectified before they come into the system, and the government was able to clear us that with all services they have given us, the management is free to resume its services. And we commenced it on Saturday by organizing a prayer. We invited the assistant mufti from the Uganda Supreme Council. We invited Haji Pakit Chuma from Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. We also invited Haji Kasim Maro from Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. We invited guests from different religious lyrics like Anglican Church, the Protestant Church and the Catholic Church. These people were able to pray when the buses were here and the staffs were here, the prayers were holy. We felt we are comforted. So all what has brought Nile on the road is involvement of both religious leaders, government leaders, and the stakeholders, partners, that has brought our hopes back. We feel there is going to be nothing wrong with Nile on the road. Also, something I wanted to add to the press is there is something we came to analyze, that the nature of the route of West Nile is not suitable for movement of buses sufficiently. It makes the company to operate at high cost. So for that reason, we realize that the management must recruit more drivers to ensure that once a driver drives, especially from Kampala to Yumbe, he reaches Arua, we need to deploy more 5 fresh drivers here. Which means a driver drives from Kampala to Arua and leaves the bus. The first driver takes the bus to Yumbe. In this analysis, we realized that Yumbe, from Kampala to Yumbe, is even more fun than driving from Kampala to Nairobi. Because Nairobi is, I think, 536 kilometers, but Yumbe is 569 kilometers. Have you seen? So we are coming to our senses due to poor nature of the road. When a driver drives from Yumbe to Karuma, he's already exhausted because the routes are not okay. You understand the point? And then once the driver will now reach a road from Karuma to the other side, we think something wrong can happen. Possibly, this is one of the reasons we want to add more number of drivers to ensure that at least we manage fatigue with the directors to ensure that we minimize risks and uncertainties of accidents. Finally, I want to conclude by saying, if you go to media, you will understand that for the last 3 days, the speed governors we have fixed in these buses have made the drivers to extend their working hours from 10 hours to 12 hours. Meaning that The drivers are going to be moving with these buses at minimum speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Even if the bridge rate, we have no problem. Our concern is the safety and the life of the people who are traveling with us. So with all this, we feel we have tried our level best to ensure we are going to minimize rate of accidents in Nile Star Project Limited. Thank you so much.
Like Mobutu said, I come from Nacho, and wow, a very good friend, and he left us with a very big responsibility. First of all, this is my first time. I'm a kind of a person who is laid back. I've never spoken to media before, so you will forgive me. I have very few things to say, and one of the things I want to say is we are very, very sorry for the loss of these lives of these people. No matter how many words we speak, their lives are not going to come back. These are people who brought for us business and money, trusted in us, but we, by circumstances and factors outside our control, we failed them. But I want to tell you that we tried our best. And our best may have not been good enough because we are human beings and we were working on machines. Concerning the people who passed on, we gave everyone a decent burial. Though it was painful on our side, life meant nothing. We gave as much as we could. For those that are still in the hospital, we are giving far above and beyond to help them get on their feet. Nile Star is a very big company in West Nile, and it employs a number of people, supports a number of families, and does a lot of public relations to the poor. And for me, I'm northerly. When I say I'm northerly, I love the north because I come from the north. And I want us, even as media, that we support at the moment because of what has happened. People are few that are coming. People fear. And it is you people who can get the messages across to the people that life is like that. That is how life is. God plans. All of us want to go to heaven. At different points we shall go. But we should realize that when it comes to death, this is not suicide, this is not what they prayed for, this is not what they paid for, and this is not what we started the business for. No. We don't practice anything wrong. The source of this money is very, very clear, as Mobutu said, water trucking, transporting of refugees, and working hard brought this money on the table. And for us, we know nothing. We don't have any other altar other than Islamic and Christian altar that we go to. We call on the name of God. We don't have any other name that we do call. Let these people come back. Speak to them. Let them come. Let us cooperate. Without you reaching out to them, we cannot do much. Let them come. We have done what we know. We have prayed. Today there's prayer going on in Paida. We had ours here yesterday. And we still continue to pray. Trainings in Nile Star for the drivers. Last year we did. This year we have done it about 3 times. We've put in money 3 times to ensure that these drivers are sober. The drivers that we have are fully vetted. All of them are fully qualified and very experienced drivers. We pay them well. I'm the head of finance. I don't wait up to the fast. We pay our drivers before the fast. We facilitate them. We make life comfortable for them. As Nile Star, you have supported us. Those who are hearing us, what we have is what you have given us. And we pledge allegiance to serve you over every mile that we are going. So we ask you kindly, do not fear. We don't have a plan to terminate people. No, we facilitate the place. We make your businesses easy. We make your transportation easy. What has happened to us, like the Bible says, is not uncommon to other men and other transport companies. Accidents happen to everybody, everywhere. But it was only unfortunate. Since Twaha died, we are not diving. No. By the time Twaha passed, Twa left 17 buses. We are now 27 buses. Though the children are young, like he said, they do their best. We try our best. We are multiplying. We are expanding. And we believe we are going to serve West Nile and expand to other parts of the country. We have a big, broad, and wider vision. What I can tell you, members of the community and the press, where we have gone wrong, please forgive us. Where we have failed you as human beings, please forgive us. If there are things that you have to say, please, our doors are always open. Please come. The door of finances, we keep them very well. I am the guard man, well trained to guard the finances, to ensure that growth proceeds, longevity for the company is guaranteed, and going concern is not questionable.
Thank you. My name is Robert Ariaka, a journalist from Rua 1, New Vision. 3 quick questions. Another will be maybe just to add to what you said. I want to understand what kind of buses do you have? Because different buses are in the market. There are those buses that we know are good for our roads and manage, and there are those that easily break. 2, issues of mechanical wear and tear of these buses. How do you handle them regularly to ensure before we rush to blame the driver, what have we done about the mechanical challenges? Added to this, you said you have now decided to put 2 drivers, a driver driving from Kampala and then hands over in Arua. I would quickly advise a driver drives from Kampala and hands over to the next in Karuma. If you look at the distance, because the driver before reaching Arua, handing to the one in Yumbe, we are just handling a short distance to Yumbe. That would work better. Related to the issue of drivers, we have had as a room, I want you to clarify this, that buses come in the morning, they have a return journey. How true is that? Because this, according to traffic rules, is not supposed to be. Because of 1, the distance, 2, a bus that comes from Kampala to Arua needs to be checked before it returns the next day. But also the driver needs to rest. These are the things. Now, finally, I would recommend for a big company like Nile Star to have a public relations officer who is always informed, clarifies on time, and also makes correct information in the media. Why am I saying this? We are living in the era of social media. Like this matter of Yube, we would not be waiting because a bus is maybe stuck just by a roadside. A TikToker is already there and they're giving unverified information. For us, the media, that's why we always verify. That's why I'm requesting if you can employ 1 or 2 public relation officers. Just like the police, they always give us accident issues on your buses, but you cannot give us on time. Can you take that mantle? Thank you.
Thank you. The issue of proposed number of drivers, especially to Yumbe, and also specifically for night buses, is an idea that is yet to be implemented. If you did not know, getting bus drivers is not an easy task. It is not like getting a truck or these small vehicles. Buses need special training, and that is why the recruitment of drivers involves 3 people or 3 institutions. The business identifies, like Nile Star identifies a driver. Nile Star hands over the documents of this driver to the Directorate of Traffic and Road Safety, specifically traffic, to verify the permit of this driver, whether he has a class to drive a bus. That is the traffic. So it goes to Natete. Once Natete confirms that this driver has a class to drive a bus, and then those documents are now referred to Ministry of Works officials. Now it is at the ministry that those tests you are talking about are carried out. The eye test to check the visibility of the eyes and other sicknesses. And then they also check the experience of this driver, where had he been driving before, his record and other things. Now once the ministry confirms this driver as a bus driver, they issue the driver with a badge. Now, issuing of that badge is a confirmation that this man can drive a bus. So you can see how many people are involved in recruiting a bus driver. It is not like a truck where the owner just enough, I'm giving you this truck, you drive. No. For the bus, it has to go through this process. The only role of the company is to identify that driver. The rest is for the traffic and the Ministry of Works officials. Now, bus drivers are very scarce. Very scarce. If you really want to qualify the drivers, they are very scarce in Uganda here. That is why some people cross to Kenya or Tanzania to recruit bus drivers. So that idea is on the table, and that is why the management thought maybe if we could start with a short distance of Yumbe, but otherwise, like somebody among you raised, the journey after Karuma, a driver starts from Kampala up to Karuma is very sober. But after Karuma, the farthest he can go, being sober, is Pakwach. Now after Pakwach, that is when you begin. If you are a very good observer, those of you who have been traveling, I will share with you my experience, a very brief one. I also do use the buses. And I usually sit in a position where I can clearly see the driver. So we came after Pakwach, things were somehow okay, but when we reached, crossing in Nile, I saw the driver getting a towel, wetting it with water from the Rejori bottle, then wiping his face. I knew now there is a problem. Sleep is coming in. I monitored a little bit further. He picked some two things, I think that was orbit. He started chewing. Still, I think he could not find the sleep he was disturbing him. Now the gunman was right in front of me in the corridor. He covered himself with a bed sheet. He was sleeping. I woke him up. I said, you go where the driver is, begin chatting with him. Sleep is disturbing the driver. The speed now had reduced. And what does that tell you? When the speed begins reducing, the next thing that follows is going to go off-road. Now when this time man reached there, they started chatting. The speed started increasing. The tower, the orbits, all gone. The guy became sober until when we reached the road. I shared that in the other workshop. And even got the time, I said, do you remember what I did? So, in the meantime, as we are looking for these drivers, you and the conductors will be alternating. Because they also get tired, the conductor and the tanker. If one is with the driver, the other one should go and rest. If the other one is also doing now sleeping, who was with the driver, you go and rest, let the conductor also come and chatting. Now, there are drivers who don't want very silent conductors or drivers. They want people who can chat with them to keep them awake. And automatically, the moment you sit next to the driver, you are a co-driver, even if you don't know how to drive. You are seeing clearly what is in front of you, and you will always be alerting the driver of certain things which you think he could not be seeing. That applies to you passengers. You see something, in fact, you will observe it. If you are very observant, you will see it. Those of you who sit close to the drivers. It is going to be implemented as soon as possible for the buses, the drivers to at least reach up to Arua, then the Yumbe, as we get those qualified to now divide the journey evenly. One goes up to Karuma and then the other one comes to finish the leg of the journey. Now the issue of rift, we do not want to mix these two things. I mean, he's a brother. He's a brother to the lady, an uncle to these two children who are demonstrators. But what I want to say quickly about this company was formed in 2016, registered legally. If there were issues of shares, they should have been sorted out. Even by the time the man bought the first 16 or 17 buses, that should have been sorted out. Because he was there, not even sick, he was very sober. Why should somebody wait 2016, 17, 18, 19, the buses you have bought, you have not sorted your issues. The buses begin operating, no issues. And then they say, when the man appointed the children to take over, he was communicating. And for you think, you do not understand the message very well. When he was handing over you, the relatives, to be under the two young children, he was communicating. And for you think, you do not understand this whole thing. Now today he is no more, you begin talking about shares. Are we honest really? And even the religious leaders come to you, up to your home, and tell you, according to the holy book of Quran, if anybody dies and leaves property, the first priority is the children, followed by the widows. Still, you are not satisfied. Honestly, and these are things which I'm telling you, these are things happening. The religious leaders came. And even they went further to say, if that man promised you a house and he built it, you are very lucky. But if he did not build it, he did not build that house, you cannot transfer that promise on the children. He is gone with that promise. It is unlucky for you. Still people are not satisfied. Where is the fact now coming from? You think God is sleeping in these issues? Where orphans and widows are involved? Then you go and sit somewhere, you wish somebody bad luck and this and that, and God allows it to happen? Hello? It will not. It will not happen. That is why I'm saying these issues of superstition, yes, family issues will be there. But let them be handled at that level. The properties left by this man, the Holy Quran is very clear about it. The Bible is very clear about it. The law, the supreme law of the country is very clear about it. Where I think there is a problem is tradition. That's where I think the problem is. You know, tradition says, if your brother dies, you take over, including even the wives. You take over.
That tradition is dying.
That is the tradition. So I think some people are suffering from that hangover.
The tradition.
That's where the problem is. That this man is no longer there. I am the brother. I should take it over. The children, the properties will be under me. But as I say, this is a man who did these things. The children even did not know why he chose them. I don't know. You don't know. But he did not die of accident. Abruptly, no. He prepared. So, whatever those family issues are, if it is about to shares, it is sorted out legally at the registry. If it is about maybe people worked were not paid, in a state house meeting, people were advised to officially write to the management and give them a copy of unfair maybe termination. It will be legally sorted out. We have labor laws which are very clear about that. People were guided. So I do not know what is where this issue of superstition and what it is coming from. So if they have it, that's why I say, if there is anybody who comes out that I am the cause of the dying of 46 people, boldly come out that I did it because of the following reasons. And I will refer to you as a terrorist. If we have understood and heard you that indeed you killed people, how each and everything, the enforcement law officers will take over and deal with that person. But so far, you hear people in the corridors, you know, there is this, that's it. It has nothing to do with the business, completely. It has nothing to do with the business. So the business ownership was sorted out, very, very loud and clear by the owner, and let us respect that. Please let us respect that. If you are a relative, you are a friend, let us respect that. It came from the owner, not from anybody. And you had your chance, by the way. Why am I emphasizing that a lot? You people had friends, whether what, whether relatives, you had that chance. The whole of 2022, he was in Uganda after the first operation. From 2016 up to 2019, you had the chance to sort out any ownership issue if you really had shares. After there, when he handed over to the children, you had the chance to clearly state that, brother, I think you are very unfair to us. You are giving this thing to the children. What about us? And this man went further to list the beneficiaries of his wealth. Do you know what happened? He only listed his children as beneficiaries. It is at your recipe. He gave the list to the lawyer that these are the beneficiaries of my wealth. The rest are workers. Still. And now, much as these two children are administrators and directors, but people who have the right to challenge these two are the beneficiaries. Those two children can be challenged by only their siblings who are beneficiaries. They can question their decision. In fact, if there is anything Mobutu can fear about this business, it is going to collapse. It is only one thing. If these beneficiaries have issues among themselves, they begin tearing each other apart. If you hear that, then you know the end of Nile is near. Because government through Administrator General's office will take over. If beneficiaries begin tearing themselves apart. Not Mobutu will take over, no. It is the Administrator General office who will take over. And there will be two options. dissolve the business, give the proceeds out, or they appoint somebody to head the business. And then you all begin, you remain at the receiving end.
Yeah.
That is what happens. So nobody should deceive you that there is no. Or maybe what is out there is just people who were workers, they feel they were unfairly terminated, but there is a where these issues can be sorted out. They were even recommending the State House of what to do. He knows it better as a family in that area. He will tell us. But as far as the business is concerned, it is an government officers in this business. No. The business now, as we speak, is for the beneficiaries. Headed by the two directors, Masudi Fortune and Peace Medina. The members, that is the memorandum and article of association, are very clear at various days, and that is finished. Who are to benefit from this work? The beneficiaries, also registered with the URSB and with the family court. So there is no any other person, not moved by the way, I'm not a shareholder. I am not. So it is these children who are the beneficiaries of that business, and those are the owners of the business. And then the issue of bad roads is a general issue, but much as we have those bad roads, much as we have issues like which is not mentioned, vehicles, trucks get spoiled along the road, they take long to get off there, sometimes they become the cause of the accidents. But there's one thing, if we can become cautious, especially drivers, when you are on the road, yes, the road is narrow. How should I drive in this narrow road? It is night, my visibility is poor, I can't see very far. How should I move? You, the passengers who are traveling, don't put drivers under pressure that this driver is very slow. The crew plus the driver don't succumb to the pressure of the passengers to begin overspeeding because somebody wants to reach. Those who died wanted to reach, but it did not reach. So let us learn that we cannot put the drivers under pressure to move faster, and the drivers should not succumb to the pressure of the passengers to move. Let us be very cautious with our body roads and drive within the specified limits of the speed. Test of the drivers, I have told you the process, how we go through that. It is done at the ministry. The issue, PRO, yes, we have come up with somebody. We are still at the stage of vetting this person, and very soon we shall announce to the public who the PRO for next year will be. That's very important. It is under consideration. Then the issue, age category, that one I can assure you, whether young or old, these guys are all prone to accidents. But, yes, experience in terms of age will be, but I can surprise you that there are some very young drivers. This Moshe you see here, who is now a rich man, he has buildings all over. This man was a bus driver. And at that age, he was educated. A very, very young but very good driver. Very good driver. You even don't know whether you have reached the house, whether you are going over potholes. People liked him, but he was a very young driver. But we had the older ones. The way they will jump with you over those roads. So people will prefer going with the younger one. Though the older ones, ideally should have more experience, but we also have that challenge in distinction where the right one is. Property is being lost through those people some use chloroform. Chloroform, not only in Nile, it happened in best companies and other rules. We did not tell you, Nile is also considering coming up with the tracking devices. I think by January the process will start, and the cameras inside the buses. These two things are coming out. And These are some of the things that will help to mitigate and check the discipline of the crew, including the driver. And with that, I think those who misbehave by putting chloroform to other people and then stick their things will be handled accordingly. And then lastly is when a vehicle breaks down, or maybe at the terminal the vehicle fails to take off on time. Sometimes it is true the management have nobody to immediately respond to, tell people what is going on. Yet ideally, every single stage where there is a problem, somebody must communicate with the passengers. Why are we stopping here? Why are we failing to take off at 10 as specified in our receipts? Why tickets? Why? Somebody must be communicated. So it's very important. General manager, you have had that. You really need to tell your team to do that. If it is at the station, it is the manager who is supposed to come. We have two people, the manager and his assistant. One can come and address. But if it is on the way, it is the responsibility of the conductor to address the passengers. Why are we here? Sometimes even one passenger who can develop stomach complications or nature issues, and then you park where usually you don't park. You must inform passengers why the bus is stopping. If some passengers have been left, they came late, and the manager called when the bus has taken off, and the information reaches the driver that two passengers are coming on a border or a vehicle chasing you, the passengers must be informed that we are stopping for a few minutes. Our colleagues have been left behind. They will join us in a short while. Please bear with us. So those kind of communications, I agree with you, they are very important. Other things left out in the interest of time, we have 2 hours on the radio talk show tonight. We shall cater for all those other things. Raise others which you have known, not yet raised here. Tell your people, your friends to come up with them. We are in the position to answer anything concerning the operations of Nile Star. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the closing remark from the President. We'll give this opportunity to the General Manager to also close. Let us start with the Finance, Head of Finance, to close with these closing remarks very briefly, and then the Manager will close the show.
I appreciate your coming. I want you to know that this is a big company and is a child and a star of West Nile. It cannot go down the drain. It's a young company. They will need your support, your stakeholders, your customers. You are very valued and very important. As the media house, we would ask you to pass the message and call the people back not to fear. God is still on control of the affairs of men under the sun. We shall live to see many days in the midst of these many challenges. Despite the backdrop of the finance, as us, definitely there is, because most of our buses are parked, waiting for you to come so that we can resume. We are not cutting out. We are not fearing as a company. We have taken a step to do further investments, as you will see in December. More buses will be rolling in, and we are going all the way to transport our people. Thank you very much. I don't have a lot to say. God bless and keep you.
From the Finance Manager and now the General Manager to also close briefly.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I think we have listened to you carefully. I want to speak briefly to you for, as a general manager, at the same time as a family. I am not a general manager because I have been forced, but I'm a general manager because I have learned this job professionally. Briefly, what I want to tell you here is about the ownership of Nile Star Trade Limited. The families have no conflict. The families have no conflict about the ownership of Nile Star Trade Limited. If there was a conflict, it will have been generated by me, one of the highest land family member. But it has not been there. Number two, I know you press members are people sometimes even we share together, we chat together, we eat together, we drink together. You have been hearing there's a problem with the management of Nile Star here and there. The point here is there have been some few issues individually between some few members of the family and the director. As I'm talking now, I have been delegated to go and handle the dialogue for resolving these matters in the village. This matter will take place effective this Saturday, and then after this Saturday, there is going to be reconciliation for those small issues to be done. After that, our brother died on 29th of this month. There is going to be 2 tours organized. One tour will be for the cultural people in the village, and then one tour will be for the business in town here. These activities are going to take place before 29th of this month. And lastly, upon the issue of management, Nile Star, I also want to rectify that since we have been doing these activities, we don't have any rival with the ownership of this company. Mark these words clearly. Let us take the right information, and the customers should get the right information so that we feed these people. I know one important Africans believe in African traditional society. There is what is called divine ritual. Divine ritual is a state in which once if there is a family, there is a problem, whether it be in the family or in the business, people gather together, they sit, they talk, they pray to offer blessings. These activities have been commonly believed by the Africans, and in the press and social media, people are requesting at least if the families can sit together, solve some of the issues, and their thoughts. This is what exactly we are going to do. So, praise, we are clarifying the issues of prayers immediately. It's going to take place. And then if there's some small issues, me as general manager and as a family member, we are going to sit down. This issue will be resolved immediately. So as a press and as a traveler, feel free that there is no another issue in Nile Star Trading Limited in terms of risks. Thank you so much.
That was the general manager.